Hey guys, Nitsuhone here, about to play match 6 with our budget modern black-red zombie deck um, in the tournament practice room on Magic Online. Looks like we have an opponent. We'll see how things go. We won the die roll and we'll play first, as most decks will. We got kind of a weird hand here. We have 5 of the 22 lands in our deck, a Gravecrawler and a Terminate. I think we probably want a mulligan. I mean, if we draw lands, more lands, we're just going to be in a lot of trouble. I mean, we do have one removal spell, we do have Gravecrawler, but that many lands is bad. I mean, if we don't draw any more creatures, we're in trouble. So I think I'm going to mulligan. I mean, we do have a lot of creatures left in the deck, but I think it's safe to mulligan. All right. Even though this land actually only has one land, I think it's actually better than the first one we had. We do have black and red already. We have 2 1-drops and we have 2 2-drops, so we'll be able to play if we draw any land. And we can get things rolling pretty quickly. So I think we'll keep this one, even though it's a 1-lander. And we'll play our Blood Crypt. And I think I will play the Diregraf Ghoul first. That way, once Gravecrawler's in play, Gravecrawler will be able to. Okay. I mean, he's not going to hit Gravecrawler. He'll probably hit Dreadbore, I guess. It's our 1 removal spell. He could hit the Death Baron too, I guess. Yeah, he hit the Death Baron. Alright. We did not get another land yet, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Despite that, we still have two 1-drops in play with 2 power, and have our opponent at 14. So our opponent also seems to be black-red. All right. Okay, probably gonna hit. Well, I mean, if he hits Timurat, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, okay, and he did. We can get that Timurat back pretty easily if we ever, get a second land, which is not something we have just yet. Good old Magic. Sometimes you get a 5-land hand. Okay, we'll discard both our Risen Executioners to this. Alright, well, we got another 1-drop. It's not a land, but it's more beats for our opponent. Our opponent, we're playing a discard deck, clearly, of one kind or another. Probably going to get the Dreadbore out of our hand now. Cry of Contrition, and we will discard our Dreadbore. So we are handless now, which is pretty annoying when you're on top deck mode with 1 land in play. So it's going to be pretty hard for us to do a whole lot else than just keep swinging, but that may end up working out for us. So I'm surprised he chose to hunt the Gravecrawler. I guess he knows I may use Timurat and sacrifice the Gravecrawler, and he wants me to have to discard a card if I do that. But if he's the one to kill the Gravecrawler, I'll just replay it. Okay, well that's pretty annoying for us given our situation, but he's going to put himself at 3, and we're going to have a creature in play. So we'll sacrifice our Gravecrawler. If we top deck a land, we can just play it again. We'll discard our Death Baron, sacrifice our Gravecrawler. We don't have a card to discard because of the haunt, and we'll sacrifice our Blood Crypt. So we're landless. one creature in play still. Hopefully he doesn't also have a bolt. And we drew a swamp, which is pretty great. We're just going to play the Gravecrawler right away. Good time to draw the second land of our game. We pretty desperately needed it. All right, Mutavault. Yeah, we won the game, despite never having more than one land in play, so that's pretty nice. We did get 3 of our 1-drops, and just started swinging early, and our opponent couldn't recover. Okay, I didn't see our opponent play any creatures at all. I mean, other than the Mutavault. So it's hard to know. I'm definitely citing in the Lightning Bolts. Those can hit the Mutavaults if he wants to activate them, you know, whenever. I'm guessing he probably has the Rack, which makes me want to consider citing in my Rakdos Charms. I'm actually going to take out Vengeful Pharaoh too, as it's pretty useless against a deck like this, guys. And we'll put in another Cemetery Reaper, I think. Yeah, we'll put in a Cemetery Reaper. Let's have an extra Zombie Lord and hopefully do some more damage if we get the cards. I think I am gonna cut. I mean, I may end up regretting it. He may turn out that he has creatures, I guess, but I'm gonna cut 2 Terminates, leave 2 in to be careful, and side in 2 Rakdos Charms. I mean, he's got to have the Rack in his deck. It's got to be one of his win conditions. He probably also has Waste Not. You can't really do anything about it, but this can also exile his graveyard, and that may be relevant as well. So we'll see. He may have sided in things like Pyroclasm against us. If he has it in his board, that would be a smart thing to side against us. Okay, the stockpile is pretty nice against an opponent like this. We don't have any red mana, and we got lots of red cards, but I think I'm going to keep anyway. Getting the stockpile in play will be pretty nice, I think. And we drew red mana anyway, so that's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, Waste Not. Thought that might be a case. That makes me makes me want to play my Necromancer Stockpile less. Maybe I should have sided that out against Waste Not. Because anytime I discard a zombie, he gets one now. And that's pretty annoying. Our Rakdos Guildmage is also less effective in a situation like this one. But it's still a 2/2 body, and getting lots of dudes out there seems to be the way to beat this guy. Cry of Contrition. Okay. I'm leaning towards discarding a land here, or I'm going to discard my Gravecrawler. Actually, I mean, it does give him a zombie, which is pretty annoying. But we can work around that with the various cards in our hand. So yeah, we'll discard Gravecrawler, which, like I said, gives our opponent a zombie, and that's pretty annoying. But he's going to haunt our Guildmage, which might mean he has a Lightning Bolt in his hand, which would be pretty annoying. Smallpox. Yeah, that hurts pretty bad right now. We're going to end up having to discard 2 cards from it. We discard non-creature cards when he has Waste Not in play. He gets to draw a card. We discard lands. He gets to add mana to his mana pool. I want to keep the Timuret in my hand. We're going to discard the stockpile because it's pretty useless. And then I think I'm actually going to discard the Timuret. I mean, not the Timuret, the lands. Oh, no, we're not. I forget we have to sacrifice the land. We need to keep that land. So I think we'll discard Terminate to the second Haunt effect. I'm not sure it's super useful against him anyway. So, okay. We will play Tymaret and end our turn. We don't have the mana to play Gravecrawler. Hopefully it doesn't have another Pox. That'd be pretty brutal. Okay, there's the Rack, which I suspected would be here. Hopefully we're not facing a Wrench Mind or something. Another Pox, which is probably worse than Wrench Mind, to be honest. Yeah, we're in trouble in this game. I think now we discard our Bolt. Yeah. Sacrifice our Tymaret. And sacrifice a Swamp. Now the Rack's slowly going to kill us. We take damage at every upkeep equal to 3 minus however many cards are in our hand, so it's going to add up. You can also start beating us down with Mutavault now. Alright, and we got to discard both of these. Yeah, we're in pretty bad shape here. Our opponent going first made a big difference. Last time we had the 1-drops we needed, and it really helped. Helped us just sort of ignore what he was doing. I accidentally passed my turn there, it seems. May not matter. Yeah, we're just going to scoop. I mean, there's pretty much no way out of this for us, no matter what we draw. We're going to side out those stockpiles now. I should have thought to do it the last game. I mean, it's nice. It'd be nice to get it out against him if he has Waste Not in play. Without Waste Not in play, but other than that, I'm not a fan. Terminates I'll leave in to kill Mutavaults and to kill zombies. So we're going to take out our stockpiles. Just put in some more zombies. Yeah, I don't really want Lifebane, but the Stromgald Crusaders are good, and I guess we'll put in a third Rakdos Charm to take care of the Rack. And also, I mean, it could end up winning, if we get our opponent low and then he starts going off with Waste Not, we could end up Rakdos Charming him to death because it can do 1 damage for every creature he controls to him. So I think we want to roll with this. Otherwise, yeah, we'll go with it. It may be wise against this guy to really just mulligan until we get a few 1-drops, because if we get a bunch in play, it's hard for him to deal with it. We'll play first. And we've got 1 1-drop and then a 2-drop, so I think we'll keep. Getting that out against him in the first game was a pretty big deal. I mean, he can Smallpox early, but we'll have 2 creatures in play by the time he can Smallpox this time. And that'll be nice. This is actually a pretty cool avatar opponent has, the Karn one. I don't think I've seen it before. He has a hand that he has to think about whether or not to keep, which might be good for us. Okay. And we lead with our Diregraf Ghoul. Okay, the Rack right away isn't great news. Won't do anything to us yet, though. And we drew a 3rd Swamp, which will be nice for the Messenger. It also is pretty good against smallpox. You know, it has to be killed twice, basically. So that's good for us. So he may have a pox this turn. If he does, it'll slow us down, but we'll still have a creature on the board. I'm hoping that there isn't a smallpox. And there's Waste Not. Okay, that's a great opening for us. I mean, we can really punish him for not making us discard anything this turn or smallpoxing us and so forth. Yeah, we got another 1-drop, which will be good later. I think I'm actually going to play the Messenger because if he smallpoxes us, it's going to be pretty great. You know, I'll have him to sacrifice and not be concerned about it at all. In fact, he'll do 2 extra damage to my opponent. I mean, if he can kill him twice, then it sucks, but it also means not having to sacrifice one of our other creatures. I mean, if he makes us not discard again, we're going to be in really good shape. I'm guessing there's, yeah, Wrench Mind. Okay. This is a difficult Wrench Mind. I mean, he's going to get zombies. He'll get zombies. We can't play the Lightning Bolt right now, so I am leaning towards discarding it. Yeah, I think the move here is discard Lightning Bolt and Diregraph Ghoul and play out the Death Baron, because that'll make all our creatures big enough to swing through his zombie. I don't think it's symmetrical. No, it's just the ones I control. So yeah, we'll discard a Lightning Bolt and a Diregraph Ghoul, which does let him draw a card and put a zombie into play. But if he can't make us discard something else, we're going to be in pretty good shape. All right, looking good for us. And now we have the Reaper, but I think I'd rather have the Baron in play. I mean, in this situation, I mean, chances are I'm not going to be able to stick at 3 mana. Although, I mean, if something happens and he doesn't have a smallpox, this Reaper will actually be pretty good. So I think I will play it. The Death Touch is relevant, but I mean, all his creatures are smaller than 2, so I think the Reaper's actually better here. So we'll play it. And now we'll swing for a bunch. I mean, our opponent's going to have to take 6 here. I'm sure he'll block. Yeah, he goes to 6. And we may have, I mean, I feel pretty good about this game. You know, we've only got 1 card in his hand, which means his Waste Not can only make 1 zombie. That's sort of the downside about Waste Not. If your deck's going really well, your opponent doesn't have any cards in his hand, and you can't make anything out of Waste Not. So, Bile Blight, okay. That's pretty good right here. I'm sure he sided that in. Takes out our Reaper. But that still might not save him, unless he can make us... Okay, well that's... Yeah, well I was just talking about how that's the downside of Waste Not, but cards like that are pretty strong for this setting. I mean, because it's going to make us draw and make us discard. And he got 2 zombies and 2 black mana. What did we discard? We discarded an Executioner and another our Death Baron. Let me pull up my graveyard better than this. Yeah, we discarded a Death. Well, that was in our hand already. Yeah, right. So we discarded a Swamp and a Risen Executioner. Didn't we have to discard 3 at random? I'm kind of confused here. The Baron was already in our hand. Oh yeah, the Baron, the Death Baron, the Baron, the Executioner, and the Swamp is what we discarded. Right. The Lightning Bolt's kind of nice. I mean, if we just top deck red mana, We're in pretty great shape here. Even if we top deck black, we can actually kill one of these. It will let him draw a card. Okay, well, all right. Like I said, we have our messenger here, which will help us. I think that may actually make him lose the game because it's going to put him at... No, not quite. So we'll lose our bolt, which lets our opponent draw a card. And we'll sack our messenger. And we'll sacrifice the swamp. Puts our opponent at 3 here. Yeah, our opponent is dead unless he draws a land to activate his Mutavault and block. Our opponent will die. Yeah, we won. All right, that was a good match. It was pretty neat. The Waste Not decks seem to be proliferating right now on Magic Online. They're pretty cool. I hadn't seen someone run Burning Inquiry yet, but it's pretty smart. Like I said, one of the problems with this deck is, if you're going really well, your opponent doesn't have any cards in his hand. But if you make them draw cards and then make them discard 3 at random, you're going to get a lot more juice out of your Waste Not. So, but we won, and that was a good match. I mean, our deck just was fast enough in games 1 and 3 that our opponent just couldn't do anything about it. We didn't care too much about discarding cards after about turn 3. Once he hadn't disrupted us, we just were able to win it. So that's the 6th video. Thanks for watching. The 6th video for the modern budget red-black zombie deck, that is. And thanks for watching.